Hey everyone, this is Some Nerdy Guy back again with another video, and today's video is another limited run games video. Stuff has been steadily coming in, and I've accumulated enough to, I feel like enough to do a video for them. So I have 4 packages here. The one in particular is one I was really wanting to wait for to do a video on, and it was the last one to arrive, and I waited near 2 years for this thing to come. And it's not even a game. There's a game in it, but yeah, there is a game in the package, but that wasn't like the main thing I was waiting for. The game that is in this package has been ready to ship for a long time because people had already been, listing it on eBay and listing it, or not listing it, but posting it in groups and stuff like that. So, anyways, I digress. I'm just gonna get into it. Here's my stack right here, and I'm gonna start with the smallest one first, which is this guy. I just like to do these videos because I know I do them a lot, it seems, but I don't know. It's just a fun way to catalog, at least like for my own personal sake, like to catalog when I got these individual things. Because obviously I can just catalog my collection on an app or in a spreadsheet or something. But I always thought it was kind of cool to like basically document, like, oh, that's when I got that. I remember that kind of thing. Um, and of course sharing it with other people. Some people have the same interests in the same games as I do, the same type of collecting, things like that. Okay, so here we have 3 standard Switch games, which one of these is a double, and I didn't realize I had already ordered one of these. Okay, well, I guess I have a double of this game. Yumetsetsu, I think is how you pronounce it. Remaster Reafter. I'm pretty positive I showed this in a video before, so I have a double copy. I guess that'll be for trade down the line there, because I obviously don't need 2 of them. Sword of the Necromancer. I thought this game was really interesting. I like the art style a lot. There's that. Very cool stuff. And then, last but not least, Unsighted. Same with this, the art style, just the character design looks really cool. There's a puppy. Get the puppy with you. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about, I know they're a dime a dozen anymore, but a lot of the ones that they pick to do these limited runs of, just like the pixelated art style, even though what am I trying to say? Like it's pixelated like 16-bit, but you can tell there's like just way more detail. I don't know. I really dig that a lot. And I was looking up gameplay of it before I ordered it. Because there have been times where I know I've said this before, where I've ordered a limited run game just based off the cover alone or whatever, and then I get it and I play it and I'm like, oh, this is nothing what I thought it was going to be like. Sometimes I kind of like that, going into a game not knowing what it is, because that's, kind of what you did back in the day. Of course, before my time, I can't sit here and say from experience, oh, I remember the NES we used to. Obviously not, but I don't know. There's just some type of fun about buying a game and not really knowing anything about it until you play it. Of course, to some people that's a waste of money, but I don't know. I just think it's a fun thing because you still get a game for your collection, even if it's not what you were expecting or whatever. And then you can always sell it. That's the beauty of having physical copies of games. You can just sell it or trade it or do whatever you want if you don't really like it anymore or don't need it anymore. So, I always thought that was cool. This one I don't exactly remember. Once I open it, obviously, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, what? But because one of these just came in the other day, and I'm saving it for second to last because I'm extremely excited for it. And for some reason, I can't remember what's in this one. So we're going to have a little look-see here. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. I was super duper duper excited about this one game here. It's a Switch game. But I have this other one here. And I really wish I would have waited. I know the game is gonna look better on the PS5, but that's the version I got. But then they, like a month or so later, they announced a Switch version. I'm like, why couldn't you do them both at the same time? What was the reasoning behind not being able to do both at the same time? I don't know. I don't know how any of this stuff works. But that first one is how mutant mutinate. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Mutinanum. because it's mutanatum. I don't know. I can't speak. I can't read. I can't do anything. But this game looks really cool. Again, like I said though, I really wish I would have waited, because I would have much rather have the Switch version. And what's really funny is that, you know, it's the same exact game as the Switch version, but if you want the Switch version, it's always like 2 times the amount of money. Like secondhand market, it's always more expensive no matter what, just because Switch is more collectible, I guess, for the modern collector. Uh, mute. I'm still stumped on that word. Mutinum, 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 something. I don't know. I I'm illiterate. I don't know. Cool stuff. I just took like a really. I was drawing a blank there. I don't know what I was doing. But this next game was the one I was really, really excited for. It was originally on the Xbox physically. It was only on the Xbox. And I was like, you know what? I have a feeling they're going to do a Switch version. And so I waited and I waited. And it was only like a $25 game brand new. But I was like, no, they're going to do a Switch version. I just know it. Sure enough, they announced the Switch version. And that is the one that I went with. And that is for Demon Turf. This game looks so unique in the sense that, so it's a 3D platformer, but the way the art style looks, it looks like a 2D hand drawn. I mean, there's cel shaded 2D hand drawn platformers, but just the fact that it literally looks like you're playing a cartoon. Like, you know how you have some games like they made games based off like Fairly Odd Parents or like SpongeBob and stuff, but they're still stylized to look like a video game. They're not really just like the cartoon in a video game, like flawlessly, like seamlessly. But this is literally like a cartoon. Like just the way that it looks is exactly like a cartoon. Um, it's just really cool. The screenshots on this don't really do it justice that well. That one kind of does. You can kind of see from that one. I don't know. It just looks really cool to me. I don't know. Some people in the comments, well, there's this game and this game. You know, it wasn't the. I'm not saying it's the only game to do it. I'm just saying this one particularly looked really clean. It looked really cool. So I am excited about this one. Okay, and now this one is the one I was super excited for, game-wise. The other stuff, like I said, are not games. Obviously based on games because it's from Limited Run, but this one I was super excited. Okay, so this one definitely not as big as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. It is a collector's edition. Oh, that's so cool. It is the Valis collection for the Switch. So this is a game series I have never played. Here's the trading card. I forgot to show the trading cards for these. Pretty cool stuff. There is another one for that unsighted game, but it's in the stack now. So, but Valis is a series I've never played before, but a lot of the retro YouTubers I've watched over the years have always talked about this game, the series. And every time I would try to like look up physical copies of it, because I know it's on the PC Engine, it's on the Genesis, stuff like that. They're always really expensive, or at least at the time. I don't know how the prices have fluctuated. Maybe they're not as expensive anymore. But I just remember whenever I looked them up, they were very expensive. So to have them all in one spot on the Switch is really cool. It is the first 3 games there. You can see the artwork here on the back. I just think the artwork is so cool. The 90s anime art style is awesome. And then they announced that they're doing a second one of these with the other Valis games on it. And I did order that, so can't wait to get that one too eventually. But super cool to have just like a little love letter to the people that were fans of this. And then, of course, creating new fans by having it. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people that just collect Limited Run or just collect for the Switch. And they'll be like, oh, that looks interesting. But they don't really know like the history behind it, or that it was an older game on an older console, stuff like that. But then they find it this way, and just kind of get into the series like that, which is really cool. Just get more people into it. So there's that one. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the big box, or bigger box. Not the biggest box I've gotten from a limited run before. This video has been kind of quick. It's only been 10 minutes. Half of that time was just me like blankly staring into the camera. I just had like a complete zone out moment. That's the only bad thing for me about doing these videos in one take, is that sometimes I'll just kind of like, I gotta think of something to say. What am I saying? What do I do? So that's just the unprofessionalism in me, I guess. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm glad I didn't just ruin this, because it's just laying on top of the box and the bubble wrap is on top of it. So rather than wrapping this in the bubble wrap, they just put it on top where I cut it with a knife, and I could have just cut the entire thing. Why would you do that? Why on earth would you do that? So, okay, I guess I'll just get into it. That really irks me. Like, you have packing. Here it is. All this packing right here. Just put it in with everything else. Why would you just sit it on top when most people just use a box cutter or something, just and open it? I could have easily just cut a big slit into this shirt. Okay, so anyways, it is a shirt. It is for River City Girls, but it is the high school. Sorry, I can't. Neketsu High Gators. Pretty sure it's Gators, not Crocs. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long time. So yeah, that was the thing I wanted to get to with this. I've been waiting for this stuff in particular since 2021. It was like early mid 2021. So almost 2 years I've been waiting for this stuff, because of one item that I'll get to. But yeah, I got the cool baseball tee for their high school sports team. I don't know. I just thought, well, not even really for sports. It's just the high school mascot, which I just thought that one was kind of unique compared to, like, I don't know, the concert tee would have been kind of cool. I probably should have went with that one, but I just thought that one was cool because I have so many black t-shirts. Like, it's insane. I have so many of them. I was like, oh, just get a different color. And it was a baseball tee, and I love baseball tees. So, but anyways, so yeah, so all this was wrapped. They could have easily wrapped this in that. I should say. That's very bothersome to me. Sorry, I had to rant about that. That's kind of stupid. Which again, in their defense, I don't know how they do things there. So maybe there was a specific reason they couldn't fit it, or with their packing system. I don't know. I just think that's a little reckless because, like I said, a lot of people just take a knife and just open their boxes. They're not really thinking about, oh yeah, the t-shirt's just going to be laying on top where the seam is for this, and you're just going to cut right through it. Like, okay. Like, I don't know. Anyways, okay, so we got some goodies here. So we got the special River City Girls trading card set here, which that's pretty sweet. It's just got like the main characters. I know it has the main two characters, and then the two boyfriends, and I think the main villain, I believe, is in this set. Or it might only be those four. I think it might just be those four characters. And then this was what I was most excited for out of any of this stuff. I don't know why I'm a sucker for these, because they're the most like bare bones like merchandise you can make for any sort of video game or anime or whatever. But I just think they're cool because you can collect them. They're almost like fig pins. You can collect them for any sort of franchise or whatever, and you can have a bunch of them all together because they don't take up that much space. Anyways, they're acrylic figures. I don't know. I think acrylic figures are really cool. And I know they're very popular in Japan, and they make them for all kinds of those pop-up shops that they have. Like, I've seen King of Fighters SNK ones. I've seen Sega ones. I've seen Final Fantasy ones. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered Collector's Edition comes with like an entire line of them. Same with Octopath Traveler 2. the collector's edition for that comes with every playable character in the game. You get a little acrylic figure of them. I don't know. I just think they're really cool. So I really wanted to get these. And these ones are like really durable too. They're very thick plastic. So that's really nice. Because some of them that you get are kind of thinner and more brittle because it's clear plastic. Clear plastic is like the most brittle you can get. So, but I thought those were really, really awesome. And this thing, this is what took so long. Only reason I know that is because I actually read one of the updates that I got before this shipped out. I usually don't read the emails that they send. I just like, I get it when I get it. It's fine. But then I was like, man, it really has been a long time since I've ordered this. Like, why isn't it coming? And this was the last thing that they said was in production for this whole River City Girls line of merch that they did. It was the commemorative golden coin. This is what was taking forever, was this. And getting it now, I really wish I just never would have bought it. Like, it's just not, I don't know. Like, I like coins because I have a Kirby 25th anniversary coin. I have the Franklin badge from Mother 3. I have the little button or the coin from that. I think it's more so of a button than a coin. But like, I have a handful of gaming related like collector's coins. I have the Super Mario 3D All-Stars ones. So I was like, oh, the River City one would be really cool. But it took so long to make. This was the they said this was like the last thing they were waiting on, was getting these metal coins made, which, you know, metal is expensive. And then they had to like make the design for all of them and stuff. So I'm sure it took a lot of time and resource, but like, not worth the wait. Not even, like, even the packaging, like the packaging's cool. It looks like a cassette tape casing, which is really neat, I guess. But why is it like covering half of the coin? Like, usually when you get stuff like this, when you want to display it, it's supposed to display the full thing, and it's cut off. Like, I don't know. That just looks kind of tacky to me. Because, you know, with certain stuff, you're like, oh, just open it. Of course, yeah, I'm going to open it. I'm going to look at it. It's going to be cool. But usually when you're done doing that, or when you periodically do that, you put it back on your shelf to display it. And if you can't even see the full name when you're displaying it, I don't know. That just kind of doesn't sit well with me. I'm just kind of like, eh. I mean, it's cool, but eh. I sound like such an asshole for saying that. Like, obviously, I'm the one that bought it, so I wasted my own money. But, you know, sometimes for other people that collect limited run, you know that sometimes they'll show you a picture of what the item is, and when you actually get it, some of the packaging's different, some of the design is different than what they initially show you. So I was definitely not expecting that. So just a little disappointing. But everything else I'm super excited about, especially this baseball tee for the high school mascot. I just thought that was pretty unique. And it's one of those things where it's like, you're only going to know if you know the game, like if I wear this and stuff like that. Because obviously you can get a shirt that says River City Girls on it that has the two main characters and whatever. But to have this and be like, oh, I know what that's from. So I don't know. I just think that's cool. And then the very last thing. Ooh, okay, that's cool. Sorry, I'll show that in a second. But this is the Double Dragon and Kuno-kun Retro Brawler Bundle. That's a mouthful. But yeah, this is an entire collection of both of these series. Well, maybe not all of the Double Dragon games, but yeah, I think it is the first three. At least the first three Double Dragons, it looks like on here. But it's a collection of all of them. So all the River City games, all the games within that universe, because they've had a lot of like sports titles with these characters, the Kunio-kun characters. So I just think that's really cool. I always like the compilation ones because as much as I like collecting the original versions of some games, there's certain ones that are either A, too expensive, or B, I just I don't know. I don't feel like just getting every single one just to have every single one physically. So it's kind of nice to just have a collection to be like, oh, I kind of want to try that one, sure. And I just click on it and it's still in physical form. So that is really cool. I was wondering what happened to this because I was like, man, everybody else got theirs. Why haven't I got mine? I know I ordered this. It was because of all this other River City stuff. this River City Girl stuff. So very cool. I love River City Ransom, the original NES game. My friend Colin really likes it a lot too. There's the little picture of it right there. So very nice stuff. But this was the really exciting, not really exciting, but I just thought that was kind of neat because it's got all the pixel or the sprites on it and stuff. But I ended up getting the gold variant of the card, the trading card. So that's really cool. There we go. And that is everything. Another limited run box opening for the books. So we got, do a little recap. We got Kunio-kun and Double Dragon. We got all the River City Girl stuff. We got the acrylic figures, the commemorative coin, the trading cards, and the shirt. There's the shirt. Okay, we got those. We got the Valis Collector's Edition. This is probably the first thing I'm going to play. I've always wanted to play Valis, so that's probably the first thing I'm going to try out. And then we got the Anno game, Mutationum, okay. I'm done trying to pronounce it. Sword of Necromancer. We got Unsighted, and then a second copy of this Numetsetsu Remaster Reafter. So yeah, that is everything. And then the trading cards. Sorry, I didn't show these other cards, I don't believe. Well, I showed the Demon Turf and this one. So yeah, all the trading cards, everything else. There's the Valis one. Okay, this video has gone on long enough. Okay, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until the next one, see ya.